To talk about this week in the markets, Eric Osterhaus joins us from Paragon Ag Advisors in Silver Lake, Kansas. We're still sifting through a lot of information. I want to go back to Thursday when we had the export sales numbers. Those came in. The market didn't really respond too much. In fact, we drifted lower throughout the day Thursday after those numbers were released. And is it basically just because those numbers were so old, because we're not going to be caught up on any of these export sales numbers or some of this other information until we go all the way out to February 22nd? Those numbers were actually for between Christmas and New Year, and heavens knows we don't do that much business then.
Yeah, number one, it's just not a great time for exports to begin with. And number two, the fact that you're getting the news weeks later, it's almost to the point that nobody even pays attention to them. And I think that's really what kind of happened. The market moved on from that and probably was trading much other things. Just, again, general economic news, maybe hopes, whether they're positive or negative in regards to the upcoming meeting next week as the U.S. representatives head to China to meet in Beijing. I think that's more what the market's going to react to. And I just don't believe reports that are, weeks old are really going to affect it unless it comes out with just something startling. And that's not what we saw.
No, and now that we've got the world supply and demand estimates and the Friday report behind us, you make a good point here that all eyes are going to be on China. What I found interesting was in talking to a lot of people in the trade and on the trading floor in Chicago, one of the things they continued to say was, yeah, we're interested to see what's in the report. Yeah, we are interested to get confirmation on some of these numbers. We're going to trade them as soon as they come out. But still, everybody seems to be putting all their eggs in one basket, so to speak, with this agreement or potential agreement with China. Do you agree with all of that? That everything is riding on that, and that's that big a deal?
Well, it certainly. It obviously is the big news event. I mean, how many times in our history, at least in my years of trading, have I had to trade a trade embargo or a trade war like this? And the answer is I haven't. And I think that's why it's having such a big impact on the trade, is just the fact we don't have any guidance to go back and look at to see what has happened in the past when we've seen events like this, because we just haven't had them, luckily. And I think so. Part of the hesitation I think you see in the markets to really trade any of the other fundamental news, even that we're starting to get some reports, is just that unless the news is just remarkable, everybody's banking on us getting some sort of a deal done with the Chinese, and then we're going to go see where we go. Then we're going to start looking at weather. Then we're going to look at exports. Then we're going to look at all these other reports, provided our government is open and running, and then they will start to mean more to everybody. It's just right now, it's just too big. It's the other shoe waiting to drop, and everybody's just kind of in that pause mode is what it feels like.
While we're on that topic, I want to get your thoughts on this too. And it kind of seems to be maybe more of a majority leaning to the side that, man, we wish we'd have just got all of this government information all at once rather than having it strung out and piecemealed over a period of time. Yet I talked to some traders that say, no, this is the best that they could do because they still had some work to do. They still had some research to do. At USDA, they had to get caught up on these numbers, and the market just would have had too much of a data dump on it to be able to sift through everything and would have missed some things. What are your thoughts?
Well, I guess I am still leaning towards less is more. In other words, I don't know that a big data dump all at once is the right way to go. I know it's just not preferable even to start with to have this whole issue of not getting the reports. Let's start from there. But so we're trying to make the best of a bad situation, I guess. And I like pulling off a Band-Aid. I've also heard that theory that it would be better just to go ahead and get the data, dump it on us, and move on. It's just that could have kind of a big impact on the markets. And again, bringing it all the way down to the individual producer, those big market moves, should they occur, they're usually the ones who pay the price more than the big traders in the markets, let's say. So because of that reason, I tend to want to see the numbers come out a little slower, a little more manageable, so that the average Joe producer out there in the field doesn't get run over in a day or two on just some big move that really was very short term, but it ran them over.
Well, a very, very good point. And hopefully we don't have to go through that again for some time. All right, Eric, what's the best way to find out more about Paragon Ag Advisors in Silver Lake, Kansas?
Best way, give us a ring, 888-452-8751.
All right, Eric, thank you very much. Always good to visit with you, and we look forward to seeing what could happen this week, especially with those talks taking place. Eric Osterhaus here with us. He is with Paragon Ag Advisors in Silver Lake, Kansas. But stay tuned. We're going to wrap the show up here in another couple of segments. So stay right here with us. KSN's Agribusiness Week.